Joined by new Siena women's basketball assistant coach Josh Suttles. And Josh, welcome to Loudonville.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Josh, tell us a little bit about your coaching history. You come to Siena from Sacramento State, where you were the past 2 years, and previous to that, you were pretty local coaching at SUNY Cobleskill.
Yeah, I came to Cobleskill in 2003 from the University of Southern Mississippi, and got an opportunity to be a head coach and more of a kind of got a chance to learn the defensive side of the game a little bit more as being a head coach and philosophy-wise. We took a struggling program, and were able to make it a national contender for quite a few years. Was there for 6 years, left, went to Sacramento State, where I was able to be a top assistant, and did a really good job of being able to turn around a program initially. They've got some young kids there now, and they're going to flourish in the next couple of years, but that's where the philosophy kind of changed. It was more of an offensive-minded, so I think I've gotten a chance to kind of learn both sides of the game, and while I know Siena has been very good at on the defensive side of the ball, I know that we can, there's a couple of things that I've learned at Sacramento State that might be able to help them offensively as far as systems and that kind of thing. So, very, very excited to be here. I've known the coaching staff here for quite some time, just from when I worked at Cobleskill, working the camps and everything. So I've known Coach Collins when I was Oswego, and then obviously Coach Woodbury and Coach Castelli here, being able to work their camps. So it's a very familiar place to me, and a very easy choice to be able to come and work here.
And you were the top assistant at Sacramento State for the previous 2 years. What made you decide to switch coasts and come back to Siena? Obviously, as you mentioned, you've coached in the area before, and you know this coaching staff very well.
Yeah, I've always had a fondness pretty much for the Northeast. I've enjoyed it. Even when I was going to school in the South, I always wanted to be in the Northeast, and I don't know if you want to say just as corny as is my kind of people, but I enjoyed it. The reason for the move out west was simply for the job and the opportunity to be on Division I level. But soon after being out there, I realized that it's for some people, just not for me, and I wanted to get back to Northeast, and my goal was just to kind of get relatively in the area, but to be able to land at Siena was kind of a godsend. It was didn't expect it, but it's definitely something that I wanted, and being familiar with the area, I think it's going to help me and also be able to help the staff.
Talking to new Siena women's basketball assistant coach Josh Suttles. And Josh, you're a native of Knoxville, Tennessee. You went to school at the University of Southern Miss and also got your start coaching there as a volunteer assistant with the men's team. What first got you interested in coaching basketball?
I'd say it's just my family. I've got my dad's side, everybody, including my grandmother's over 6 feet and everything, so they all played basketball, and this athletics has kind of been in our blood from the start. And I actually picked my school based on degrees. I wanted to be a coach, so I picked a school with the best coaching and sports administration program, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I got a chance to kind of learn through some of the best professors, and then obviously a very good coach, Coach James Green, who was Conference USA Coach of the Year right before I got there, excuse me. And it's just something that I've always wanted to do. Most people grow up saying they want to be a policeman or a firefighter, that kind of thing, and I've always grown up wanting to be a basketball coach.
You've had a little bit of time to get to know this team now. Talk a little bit about your thoughts of this program and some of the players and your vision for where this program you hope to have it be, not only this year but in the coming years.
Absolutely. The players are really working hard. We're getting some practices in now because we're going overseas for a trip. And they're hard workers. They're really athletic kids. Obviously, being able to gel and find that chemistry. The best chemistry that'll help us on the court during games is going to be something that's crucial right now, and that trip will really help. Finally get a head start on that. But the kids are great. They work hard. They don't. Right now, there's no excuses. They play through a little injury here and there, and I think they've got the opportunity. Like I said, in the past they've been good defensively. Back even further than that, they've always been very successful in the MAC, and that's kind of where we want to go. Obviously, I think with any mid-major program, you want to be able to vie for your conference title, and that is your way to get into the dance at the end of the season, and that's obviously something that we're going to shoot for.
You talk a lot about defense. Tell us a little bit about your coaching philosophy.
I've always thought the defense, if it can't win you games, it'll definitely keep you in games. And I just think there's nights where the ball just doesn't go in the basket. So, I've always leaned heavily towards the defensive side. My time at Sacramento State has kind of taught me a few things offensively to really kind of balance out my philosophy, and we were more of a run and gun team. Defense was basically played 95 feet. We pressed a lot and everything, so that was kind of more of our defense. Where I know that Siena has been more of the half court. I know they pressed a little bit more last year, but defensively in the half court have been very solid. So I think what I can bring to the table is a couple of philosophies and a couple of systems that we ran there offensively that can be able to get kids open shots. And I think on the Division I level, that's really what you're looking to do. You can get the kids open; their job to knock it down.
Finally, Coach, an interesting story. You said you've actually performed a couple of weddings. Tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, that's a crazy situation. I guess a few years ago, back in college, we kind of were joking around, and the show Friends had talked about this Universal Life Church, quite a bit and everything. So it's kind of just on a whim, just got online to take a look at it, and just a couple of inputs of name and address, that kind of stuff. Next thing you know, they send you a certificate saying that you're not really a minister, but they send you a certificate that says that. And had two buddies of mine who ended up getting married out in California, and to my shock, I thought I would be in the wedding, not performing it, but they asked me, and I said yes. And so we're running, I think one of them is 7 years strong and the other is 5 years strong. So, 2 for 2 on that so far. But it was, I'm retired. I'm not doing it anymore. that won't happen again. But it's an interesting story that kind of follows along. And like I said, it was a little bit on a whim, but it turned into something much bigger. And I was glad to do it. New
Siena women's basketball assistant coach Josh Suttles, welcome to Siena.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.